Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today I'm going to do a roster review, so let's jump into it. So our review for today is with Jedi Knight Shibite, with the Shard Shark Jedis. A smaller account, so 2.7 million GP, 1.5 in characters, 1.1 in ships. So about almost a year played, so getting close to a year. Seems like they're working on CLS, and then they have a Home 1 fleet. Not quite getting 50, top 50, so they're getting no rewards for their fleet arena, and they're Bronzium 4, so not the best as far as the income that they have. I I don't know if they. I guess they probably farmed this stuff free to play, if I imagine. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Gungans, let's see. Just the amount of time they have played is not a lot. Maybe that they bought the Geonosian bundle. Maybe they bought. Let's see the Ewoks. No, they didn't buy the Ewoks. I imagine they're probably free to play. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, Ewok Scout didn't come this. Okay, never mind. So yeah, so 100% they probably bought the Geonosian bundle, they bought the Ewok bundle. And it looks like maybe they bought the Rebel bundle. Let's see. Yeah, so they probably bought the Rebel bundle. So for a year played with at least 3 bundles bought, not a lot of, and Phoenix too. So they bought the I think Phoenix came with the Rebel bundle, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, at this time, like all these all these bundles are starting to like just coagulate and become this one homogenized thing. I've looked at it too much. But not a lot done in a year for the especially not being free to play. Because I was like, oh, maybe they're free to play. But it looks like they just don't have any. Honestly, very much done after a year played. Maybe they played like ridiculously casually, and then they just didn't figure it out. You know what? I'm gonna take a second to read what they said, because normally, to be completely honest, I don't even read their Discord stuff because everyone's just like, review me, bro. All right, so thanks for having this avenue available. You just found me on YouTube a month ago. That was about a month ago that they requested. So, all right, returned to the game after 6 years off in December 23. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense because 6 years ago, progress was really slow. And I remember when I first started playing this game, progress was just like at a crawl. Like the game progressed at a much different pace than it does right now. So that makes sense. So they're just coming back. All right, so they spent on Lightspeed bundles to get Phoenix, Ewoks, and Geos because you didn't want to farm them. Solid reasons, right? You refresh. Okay. All right, so and they've been following my mod guide for a few weeks. All right, so I like CLS Rebels, to be completely honest with you, as your first big farm. CLS Rebels is pretty solid. I did because someone told me Phoenix can do CT3 for the Rebel Assault Battle. And what I say to them is, you, sir, whoever you said that, is a liar. Because they can't. They can't. I tried it. It's not possible. CT2, yeah, absolutely. CT3, no. They don't have la juice to do it. So to do CT3 for Rebels, you still need a premier team like CLS or maybe Leia or something. But CLS is probably the cheapest, easiest way to do it. I did it. You probably don't even need all relics, but it's pretty approachable. So, and they're an excellent team. They're great in conquest. Like, they are worth their weight in gold just for conquest, and they do a lot of great things in GAC too. They have an assault battle. Every single one of them is needed for a GL. So excellent farm. Highly recommend it. So you're really rebel leaning with your farms and what you're doing here. And I see that you're going probably for the profundity. So I think CLS Rebels into the Profundity is an excellent farm. My only concern is your ships, because you do need the pretty much the bounty hunter ships to unlock the a 7-star Millennium Falcon. You don't have the Millennium Falcon at all. It looks like you're farming the Outrider, you're farming the Rebel Y-Wing. You have some of these other stuffs that you got from the bundle. A little bit of work into Raven's Claw, but I would focus on these bounty hunter ships, getting them up and running, because you need them. You need them. Millennium Falcon, like you can't do anything with the Rebels. Well, you can with Home One and using the what do you call this, Kyle Katarn ship, the Raven's Claw. You can. It's definitely not as good. And Millennium Falcon is, even if you use the Raven's Claw, if you use the Gerbil's Guide, you still do first reinforcement with the Millennium Falcon, and that's what really like seals the deal and turns it into a decent fleet. Pretty expensive though with the Raven's Claw and Millennium Falcon, when you can 100% just skip the Raven's Claw and just going all in on the Rebels with Millennium Falcon, Outrider, Rebel Y-Wing starting with Phantom and Ghost as the reinforcements, and then Cassian's U-Wing if you really need, or if your tank dies the bigs. You don't need Raven's Claw. You can, like, you already have decent investment into it, so you don't have much fleets, so even if you get the Profundity, it seems like Home One's going to be important for you. So I don't hate the idea of you building it up either. But there are some other priorities, because your fleets are in shambles. Your fleets are in shambles, and you need to 100% start putting priority into these bounty hunters. Bounty hunters are a really important faction. You need them for you don't need specifically them for credit heist, but they are good in the credit heist. They unlock Chewbacca for you, and I imagine you probably don't have a fully functional Chewbacca. Yeah. Oh, there you go. 6 stars. Yep. So you still need some work with your bounty hunters. So 100%, I would say, to finish this Profundity uh, journey that you're going on, I would go with Bosk. Like, Reef here is a great idea. The Mandalorian's a great idea. You need it for you need them anyways for BAM. But Bosk, I would start prioritizing Bosk, getting him up and running, getting 100% start hard shard farming for their ships too, especially the Houndstooth. Like, Bosk and the Houndstooth is a great fleet, and you need more. Like, at least even in Grand Arena, you need 2 fleets, so you can use this bounty hunter fleet under Chimera or something, and then that's a decent defensive fleet, and then you can use your Rebels on offense is probably how I would split it, while you're also farming, like using your Get To farm the Malevolence, and like side farming that in the future. It's kind of like a long ways. Honestly, the problem with this account is, like, for the amount of time played, the foundation of what's there isn't honestly great, and it's just like a lot of fluff. Like, Geos is fluff, Ewoks is fluff, but it's fine. I would say, as far as the guild, I don't know how good your guild is. I don't know if you're happy with your guild. I'm not going to dive into your guild, because people get really offended when you start talking about guilds, and they're like, how dare you? But I will say this, like, you have Geos at Relics. I would recommend that you are in a guild that does, at the bare minimum, a dark side TB and has good watt, and I mean like 30 plus shards, as close to 50 as you can, so that you can unlock watt right now. That would be the best thing you can do, is make sure you're in a guild that is getting good watt shards, so that you don't have to go back and use your Get 3 to farm it. Because if you pretty much miss the boat right now, you're hurting. You're in a difficult place. So that's what I would recommend as far as, like, your guild. If that's the case, then cool. If not, then start finding a new guild that has that, because it's going to be very important. And I promise you, if you don't find that right now, you will regret it if you continue to play this game. All right, so I see that you already put some investment into Luminara. So I don't hate if you try to get your Jedi up and running to get some participation for the raid, because that is very important too. If your guild is doing the raid, then you need to participate in it, especially this Naboo one. Just do your best to try to get some enough participation, so that you honestly just don't get kicked, or replace, because if you ignore it for forever, then they're just going to be like, okay, this guy isn't pulling his weight, so we got to kick him. So if you're gonna build up like the Sith, Separatist, Jedi, Luminara team, then hey, cool, do that. Get whatever participation you need first with that, and then while you're getting your raid participation, then start putting some more effort into your profundity farm, while focusing on the bounty hunter ships and whatever rebel ships you need for that. So side farms, like I know that's a lot. Like you're first and foremost, like you need to farm these bounty hunter ships. Next, I would start farming all these pilotless ships like the Vulture Droid, the TIE Bomber, Rebel Y-Wing, BTLB Y-Wing. Just focus on one fleet at a time. And even as you start getting like Malevolence and Negotiator up, even Gear 12 pilots are pretty decent. So if you look at the core of the pilots and you get them to at least Gear 12, then those fleets are usable. And non-Kyrotech teams, you can side farm and use that raid currency. And I can't emphasize this enough. Like being in a good guild that does weekly raids, has 50 players all participating, is going to be huge for your account. Like that is the most important thing for growing this, because like right now, even though you have a year played, it honestly, I could probably, depending on when a Lightspeed bundle come out, I could spend like maybe $100 and then have double your GP with some Lightspeed bundles. So something to think about. And I'm not like dogging on your account. I'm just saying that you need to start progressing in it and learning how to relic these characters that are not Lightspeed bundles. And maybe I would say watch my guides on like how to farm, how to layer your farms, how to shard farm, how to farm the right side pieces and left side pieces of getting from gear 12 to gear 13, how to learn mods, how to like do all these things. My amazing guide has pretty much how to use all these mark currencies from the raid, how to farm your relic material, and then my mod guides have all the information on like how to build your mods over time. And I would recommend watching those, because that's all my knowledge on like how to play this game efficiently. And if you start playing efficiently, then you're gonna get there. But I do think you should finish your CLS Rebels. To do that, you are gonna need to get bounty hunters. So bounty hunters would be my priority. You can use whatever bounty hunters you want, but Grief is great, Mandalorian's great, Dengar is needed for Executor, Boba Fett is great, needed for Executor, Cad Bane, Boss, like all these that you're investing in are solid. IG-88. So I see that, honestly, you may be like on the line, like, do I go for Executor? Do I go for Profundity? It's up to you. Like you're prime for both, kind of, with where you are. And to farm the Millennium Falcon, you pretty much have to like farm all the bounty hunters. You're pretty much like that, and that's my only like complaint with this, with Profundity, is like you pretty much have to do the predominance of like the bounty hunter farm, and then that's like the Executor right there. So it's up to you. Just choose one. Like I think Executor is great, Profundity is great. It seems like you align more towards Rebels, so if you want to go Profundity first, then go Profundity. But I do like Executor first, because then you can go CLS Rebels into Executor into Imperial Troopers, and that'll be 3 assault battles completed, and then your first GL could be Jabba, and that'll be Jedi completed, and then from there you can build like your Sith and get your 5th assault battle, or your Phoenix, and then you can do Night Sisters. So there's like a lot of things you can do for that, and it looks like you're equally building both. So I would say right now, just like choose one, like choose the Executor or choose Profundity, whatever one. Both are fine. Either way, you have to build your bounty hunters, so it's up to you. But whatever you do, like finish your CLS Rebels, you could honestly finish Captain Rex too. That would be really great for your Phoenix team. So finish Captain Rex, finish CLS Rebels, gear 12 up your bounty hunter so you can get the 7-star on Chewbacca, get your raid participation, then go for your GL ship. So in whatever order is most pertinent for you, like continue to farm your ships. Like don't stop. Even I was farming up to like 4 or 5, 6 ships at a time. 2 is minimum. Farm the pilotless ships first, but focus your resources on like one fleet at a time. Your home one fleet is honestly fine, but I would start like getting effort towards your malevolence and executor or profundity or whatever, and then negotiator, start getting those up and running to the best of your ability. And I would say malevolence first, because if that gas bundle comes by again, then maybe you can buy the gas bundle, and that'll help with your fleets tremendously with like negotiator or something. I don't know, but something to think about. Something to think about. But thanks for letting me look at your account. I honestly don't want to look at your mods because I don't think you have the time to have built mods. Even though you've been playing for a year, I'm glad you're starting to work on your mods. But I'm not going to comment on them. Like you're just coming back. You don't have the development, and I'm just going to say like, hey, you watch my mod guides. Make sure you watch all the mod guides. Understand not just like what's high potential, but like how to farm them, how to maximize them, and then you'll be just fine. But other than that, like the foundation is there. Just choose a path, stay on that path, stay focused, like layer your farms like an onion. Watch my guides on like how to do your farming, and then you'll be just fine. Other than that, like if you have additional questions or concerns, let me know. I will say this, like I see that you're like side farming Star Killer. Like you're nowhere near ready for Star Killer right now. I would say finish at least 2 of those assault battles. So like CLS Rebels, Phoenix, Rebel, or Imperial Troopers are big ones, and then have at least your GL level ship and a GL, and then you can go for something like Star Killer. But I would pump the brakes on Star Killer, and then just like focus on one GL ship, bounty hunters, like building that foundation, everything that you need, and then you'll be just fine. I will say this, like Master Qui-Gon, wherever he is, there he is, Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan, they are really good, and even though you're like nowhere near ready for them, I think if you wanted to side farm Master Qui-Gon, just slow farm him, and whenever he's like 6 stars, then farm Padawan Obi-Wan. And if you want to try to like take these guys to Relic 7, I think that'll help you tremendously for your credit crunch and just all the other materials that they come. So don't ignore these guys, even though you're like newer. They're still really, really good. They'll help you with the raid. They just have all the reasons in the world to farm them, and that's what I would recommend. So if you have any questions, concerns, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for letting me look at your account, and take care. And don't forget on your way out to like and subscribe.